Nonhlanhla Mazelani is the founder of Tholulwazi Phakathi, a non-profit organization based in Deep Kloof, Soweto. She guides and assists over 50 adolescent teenagers living with HIV who form part of the organization.
Many of them are orphans. They were abandoned at various places. For instance, one of my children was abandoned in Joburg Park during the time when HIV cases were becoming more prevalent. She is now part of my program. I mentor them and teach them how to live with HIV so that they can go out and teach other young people the same.
Mazelani says most of the children in her care come from impoverished homes. Many of them have no access to education or any skills training. Food and other necessities are also unattainable.
They consume their ARV medication on empty stomachs. We are volunteers, we are unemployed, and we are not funded. The funding we receive can only accommodate 24 people. There are 56 of us.
It's about 56.
Mazelani and members of the organization took the front row seats in the ceremony held this afternoon, where they were finally able to air these challenges.
I was dumped in an orphanage by my own mother and own father. My whole life I've been living there with Abigail. Me, not knowing who was my mother, who's my father, had to grow within me. And I had to find out myself that I'm HIV positive.
As HIV people, it feels like we are only appreciated on this day. That's where everyone can just stand up proud and say, yes, I'm HIV positive. But what happens tomorrow? What happens tomorrow when everyone is not here and you're all alone? Everything just comes back to you and you're just starting to have suicidal thoughts.
Activists and health practitioners echo similar sentiments. Some feel as though HIV/AIDS related matters have taken the backseat, especially following the COVID-19 outbreak.
We still feel like we are sometimes ignored as people living with HIV until at a day like this when everyone wants to talk to us, want to hear our views. People were their dignity was not respected during the lockdown, where we've seen patients given medication over the fence, where we've seen patients' files sitting there at the chair outside the facility when the one man is trying to make sure that everybody is getting services, where we've seen a patient has to stand outside the fence and ask the security to go and collect medication for the patient, where a patient were given pills in a toilet paper for them to be able to access their pills.
Touched by the story of one particular teenager living with the virus, the Deputy President made a heartwarming announcement.
From today onwards, Abigail, you are my daughter. You are free to have my number. In the morning you can greet me saying, how are you, Dad? I'm fine. What are you trying to do today? As much as you are part of this bigger family of social development, you will also be part of my family.
The Gauteng Premier and Deputy President have vowed to further engage with the youth from Tholulwazi Phakathi to assess other necessary interventions. Nosipho Mncube, SABC News, Soweto.